All right, we are back on MorningLine. Thanks for joining us this Monday. The number 737-7587. Dr. Friday with us, tax preparer and expert. Listen, wanted to ask you this before we get back to the phone calls. $1 billion lottery jackpot,
Right.
$1 billion plus. If you win, lump sum or payments?
Payments. Because that would give us the ability to maximize our contribution, so we can take a big chunk, say 50%, we want to give to the charity, or set up your own trust, which would be really cool, because then you can combine that and give it to different charities throughout the year and get the tax advantage. Keep yourself in a lower tax bracket, even though you're still in the highest of tax brackets, and it gives you the ability to maximize. Otherwise, you'd have to almost immediately take 50%, give it to your charitable trust, another 40%, give it to the government above, after you take the charity. I'd rather spread it out, and then that way you have the ability to manage those funds.
All right, so ultimately you would get more money in your pocket going for 20 years. You would. You would get more money that way. Have you ever handled tax preparation? Have you ever handled tax preparation for someone who's won a jackpot?
I have, but it was only in the millions.
Okay,
it was
tell me,
not
what
in the
did
billions.
they kind of do?
We did the lump sum.
All right, so okay, lump sum, and that's a smaller amount.
Right.
But let me ask you this: if someone were to win a jackpot, be it the big one or something less, one of the first calls they make should be to their financial preparer?
It would be, yes. You want a team with you. So you would want your financial planner and your tax person. If you don't have them, you need to call somebody. You do not want to go to that table, because you're going to answer questions. As soon as you sit down, they're going to ask you, how do you want these funds? How do you want them distributed? We're immediately going to take this much and give it to the IRS. This is what's going to happen at that table. So if you're going to make decisions and say, wait, I want this much sent to a charitable 501(c), that means that comes out tax-free. That much is gone. So we don't want as much going to, otherwise they're going to take the total amount, take 45, 50%, give it to the government, and then let you deal with the rest of it. And we don't want them to touch any more than we have to, so we need to control that meeting.
Okay, and as you said, your understanding, and maybe with the cases you've handled, you show up to turn in the ticket for this kind of money. The IRS is already there?
Well, my understanding, at the time that you sign the documents and the checks are issued, the IRS has actually got a liaison there.
They're already there?
That's my understanding. I was not at the meeting. I was told that they had someone at the meeting, though.
Your thoughts on $1 billion lotto jackpot?
Winning it?
Yeah, well, winning it. I mean, something
honest,
that big.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would not want to win it. I'll be honest, because it would be such a life-changing. And remember that over 60% of lottery, or something, you probably know the statistics better than me, are basically die bankrupt. They don't keep the money because they don't have the right team in effect, right? They just, I mean, it's still life-changing. All these people come out of the woodwork. You can just picture all these people trying to hold on to you because you've got this money, right? Oh, we need a new house, and we want this, and oh, invest into this, and then, you know, you need to be able to step away. And most people are working people, you, me. Well, we know, really, without the experts telling us, giving us options, breaking it down, so we can understand it, you know? I mean, just picture that. I mean, because taxes are a big portion. Yes, we can keep more tax dollars, but that just means I'm putting more money in your pocket for some investor or somebody to try to drain from you. You need to have a great team of people that can lock it up. Remember, we could take a chunk of that and put it into a retirement fund. Again, locking it up for some other time, but a lot of them don't do that, believe it or not.
Which is why some of them end up broke.
Exactly.
So the bottom line on this, then, if you go in, I mean, I think about winning the lottery, and it's going through my mind, what am I going to buy, who am I going to help, what charitable cause, but you have to have a plan, and you just brought up some points I haven't even thought about.
Yeah, you've got to have a whole way of working, because your life has just flip-flopped. You've worked your whole life, you did all the right things, you know, took care of the people, but now you've got people that you didn't even know are now your best friends, and now you've got investors that are coming, and you know, you're the next Bill Gates, you know, I mean, kind of thing. Difference with Bill Gates, he earned every dollar he made. He created something that became a product, so he didn't come necessarily an overnight success like this would do to people.
All right, so the bottom line, last question on this then. If you do end up, if one of you end up winning this lottery Wednesday night, that doesn't mean you necessarily go in first thing Thursday. You obviously secure the ticket, but that's why sometimes we hear lottery winners not coming forward for a couple of weeks.
There's a reason for that. They're getting, some of those people are fairly smart. Sometimes I'm not sure if they're letting it sink in, but keep in mind that lottery winners' names are announced.
Now, I was
going
to ask you about this. Exactly. Talk about how, because I think there was a winner recently who did this, and they put it in some type of trust or whatever, and by doing that, it kept them anonymous. Because I always heard, you win, they want to parade you out there, your name becomes public record. Is that
Again,
always?
that's why you want your team. That's why you want your financial planner, your tax person, maybe even in our case, our team is always the lawyer as well. But you want that to sit down and say, okay, these are your options.
How can you keep yourself anonymous?
Because you can put in trust. That lottery ticket can be put into a trust. The trust then is what's announced, not the individual. And trusts are sealed. You don't know who owns a trust.
Why more people don't do that? I suppose I like the idea of coming out maybe and saying, yeah, I won.
You're a celebrity then, right? I mean, the instant 5 minutes, 15 minutes of fame or
But
whatever.
then, of course, everyone out of the woodwork, maybe you keep it anonymous. That's something to think about.
It's big. I would keep it anonymous. Be the what is it, daddy long legs, that you can go out and give the money, but you don't have to have all of those people nagging you. I would just think that would be a nightmare.
Great advice. All right, let's get some more phone calls. That's very interesting. I hope someone has that problem here in the Middle Tennessee area. All right, let's go to Ricky. Ricky, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Ricky, how can we help you?
I am on disability, and I have a couple of questions. And the insurance that I pay is COBRA.
Sure. Ooh.
Because my plan actually closed, and I was wondering if I can actually claim that on my taxes this year.
Are you planning on getting off COBRA? That's like really expensive usually.
Yes, I am, but I'm going to get off in May. That's when it'll be 2 years since I've been disabled.
Okay.
And I will get off then in May, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm not an insurance person. I just know COBRA can
Remind
be very
folks what COBRA
expensive.
is.
COBRA is usually what you fall into once you've either had to leave a job or a lot of times a plant closes, whatever. It's the insurance that's kind of like the umbrella. It's supposed to go between one insurance policy and another.
It allows you to stay on your company that maybe just closed down's insurance plan, but now you're paying for it.
Right. Now, there is some payback where many employers will pay a portion of it and you still have, but I mean, a lot of times it's 4 times higher than most insurances, so even if the employer's helping, it's expensive. Answer to his question is, again, it comes back to that medical expense, right? Where we talked to, I think it was Mary 1 or 2, where we talked about 10% of your income. If you're on disability and you are single, you're not filing any taxes, so there would be no reason to file this on there. If you do have a wife or someone that's working, it would be the total income 10% plus itemizing. Very hard to actually maximize any good thing with medical expenses.
Okay, we've just got like 3 minutes left, and we're going to see you again before April 15th. I was wondering, is it a lot of people sometimes, especially if they think they owe, wait till the very last moment for this?
Big mistake.
Okay, and the mistake would be, let's just say, talking about mistakes, if I were to file right now and make a mistake, would it be time for the IRS to catch it before the 15th date and kick it back to me and say, Nick, you screwed up, you got to redo this, you owe us more money, and I avoid maybe a late penalty? Because once you make a mistake after the 15th, they kick it back to you. You not only have to make good, you owe them interest, right?
Well, theoretically, once the tax return's filed, the interest and penalty can be done. So I always, most of my clients, one of the reasons I don't rush to do any of my tax clients in January is because many of us have seen where amended tax returns, 1099s, corrected W-2s have come out in early February because companies have found errors. And these people have rushed to get their taxes done, did them based on the first W-2, and then the company has found a mistake, and they've corrected it, which is their right to do, but now you're going to have to go and do an amended tax return, which most people don't even do that. So keep in mind that, you know, I understand that you want to run and get your refunds and all that because, well, be honest, I don't ever get one of those, so I wouldn't know. But, you know, when it happens, just be really careful because if, you know, if something, or you get a W-2 in February, oh my gosh, because that person sent it out just a little late. Remember, by law, you're responsible for paying tax at every dollar you were paid. Doesn't make a difference if you do not receive a W-2. Doesn't make a difference if you do not receive a 1099. It is your responsibility to pay tax on all money.
Okay, so that being said, and that's an excellent point, I never thought of that, what would you say is a good timetable? I mean, you don't also advocate waiting till April 15th if you can avoid it.
No, mid-February.
So when would you say? Mid-February is a good time to get it going.
As long as you know you've received everything. If you know for a fact you haven't received it and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get that 1099, you know, make sure you add it into your income.
Okay, because, you know, I'm still getting dividends from my role in Country Strong. I've gotten a few checks on that. I will get probably a tax form from SAG and for my dividends for my speaking role in Country Strong.
I saw that. You're awesome.
The movie, unfortunately, is referred to by some as country wrong. I wish it had done better. Can you imagine if I had a bit role in a movie like Titanic? I'd be a bazillionaire. Because I'm actually getting little dividends for a tiny little role in Country Strong.
I know.
How about that?
That's
no,
pretty
it's
impressive.
like 20 bucks
You
a
need to
pop,
go do some more
whatever.
movies.
Yeah, thank you. I may just do that. Dr. Friday, it's always good seeing you. We'll see you again
Yes.
before April 15th.
Okay, cool.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, sweetie.
Back with a programming note right after this. Stay with us.